been a while since I've had my father in reviews. But anyway, so the new Ahsoka show just ended, and we just finished watching it. And it's been a while since I reviewed a Star Wars thing. I think the last Star Wars thing I reviewed was Kenobi, which was pretty good. I liked it. There's been some Star Wars stuff that's come out since then. There's Andor. What do you think of Andor, Dad?
It's all right.
Yeah, it was I didn't love Andor as much. I won't get into it because I'll review it later when the second season comes out. But I didn't love it as much as everybody else did. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I had a lot of really great moments. And then there was Mandalorian season 3. What did you think?
It wasn't as good as the first 2 seasons, that's for sure.
No, Mando season 3 to me was pretty big a letdown because Mando season 1 and 2. People say season 2 wasn't as good as season 1, but I like them both. I think they're different, but I like them both. And season 3 was a letdown. You know, it had episodes that had to do with characters nobody cares about. And, you know, IG-88, he has this really great sacrifice, and they just undo that so that Grogu can, control him. Very childish, very just dumb. And then, you know, it wasn't even about Din anymore. It was about Bo-Katan, which is fine. I like Bo-Katan, but, you know, it felt like Din and Grogu just kind of got pushed to the wayside, and they didn't really get to do anything.
Yeah.
I didn't review that either because I didn't feel like it. Mando season 3 was just so, not worth talking about. So, but now we're at Ahsoka, which just ended after 8 episodes. So for a little backstory, obviously you know this because me and my dad. But me and my dad are both big Star Wars fans. We've always liked it for our whole lives, basically. He waited in line to see Return of the Jedi. So, I mean, he's been here since literally the beginning. And in 2020, around the time the pandemic hit and we were stuck at home, we decided to catch up on all the Star Wars stuff we missed. So we watched all of Clone Wars and we watched all of Rebels. And there was some other stuff we watched. But I just wanted to point that out because I don't want anybody to think that, you know, oh, they just didn't like it because they don't know what's happening. We know what's happening, okay? We know everything. There wasn't a single moment where either one of us was confused or, left out. We always knew what was happening, okay? Because let's be real. This show is Rebels Season 5. That's what it is. It's Rebels, but in live action. And that's fine, but I just wanted to make that clear. Well, what do you think of Clone Wars and Rebels, Dad?
I really like Clone Wars, especially the last season. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Rebels is okay. Had some good episodes here and there. And then Bad Batch is alright too. Not too bad.
Yeah, I didn't finish Bad Batch, but yeah, I wasn't really super into Rebels. It was pretty childish. It had some good episodes.
Yeah,
mostly when the Clone Wars characters showed up. Like when Ahsoka or Maul was the focus, that's when I liked it most. But I really didn't care much for Rebels. I mean, I really hate Ezra. I just think that character sucks. I don't like Chopper. We'll get to Chopper. I liked Kanan. I liked Hera. I liked Sabine. They were cool. But I didn't care for Zeb. Didn't care for Bail Organa. Show kind of sucked. But Thrawn was cool. But anyways, so we finished that, and at the end of Rebels, the ending is Ezra and Thrawn are gone. Now Ahsoka and Sabine team up to find them. And that's where we get here. So now we're at Ahsoka. First off, let's go episode by episode. The first 2 episodes dropped at the same time, and they weren't great.
No, a little slow.
A little slow. It felt like, you know...
But Kenobi was too when it first started off.
Yeah, I agree with that. But when I was watching episode 1 and 2, especially 2 with that action scene at the end, I thought to myself, this show really should have been animated. It would have been way better. Because first off, oh man, Rosario Dawson in this show. I love Rosario Dawson. I think she's great. She's a great actress. And even in this show, she's really good at acting. But she's just, as Ahsoka, I feel like she doesn't feel like the same character. To me. What do you think of Rosario in this show?
I think at the beginning, she wasn't very good. She was just different. And then after she became Ahsoka the White, she seemed a little bit more like Ahsoka. But then she was still pretty reserved. So, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just not. It was a lot different. So obviously the character's older and has been through a lot more. So it was different.
Yeah,
definitely different.
Yeah, she doesn't feel like the same character. She's so stoic. She feels like I don't know, like I don't even know how to describe her, like a samurai, but not even like a cool samurai, like a samurai that's just like very reserved and doesn't say much. Like I feel like they were kind of going with this like this. They were trying to treat Ahsoka as if she's like a myth, like this legend, and that's why they have her very stoic and serious. But that's not who Ahsoka is to me. Like I was really like, man, I wish the show was animated because I wish Ashley was voicing Ahsoka because she brings so much life into that character. She's always great as that character, you know. And honestly, she could have played her in live action. Honestly, like I don't see why they didn't, especially since they had Lars Mikkelsen come back as Thrawn. You know, I don't really understand what they were going for. But I mean, episode 1 and 2, I wasn't really into them that much. They were pretty boring. It was just kind of watching Sabine, you know, slouch around and missing Ezra, and Ahsoka just be serious and stoic and have her arms crossed. Big thing about the show, Ahsoka's not the main character. Sabine is. This is Sabine's story, which it makes sense. You're gonna get a lot more people to watch a show called Ahsoka instead of a show called Sabine, so I get it. But this is really Sabine's story. Sabine's the main character. Ahsoka's the mentor. The only episodes where I felt like Ahsoka was the main character was episode 5. And that was the Clone Wars episode. And that was pretty much it.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, episode 2 were pretty boring. The action wasn't very good. The dialogue was pretty bad. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of whack. And then episode 3 was kind of filler, but it was okay. It was the one where they went in space and they were flying and they had that little. You remember?
No, it was better. I can't remember what it was about.
Yeah, it was them in space, and they kind of fought Shin and Balin. Oh man, let's talk about them. Shin, Hati, and Balin Skoll are no different to me than those shitty Inquisitors from season 2 of Rebels that they beat in every episode. Like, they really are only there just so the characters have someone to fight. They don't really have anything. They don't have any. I mean, they might use them late. Well, not Balin Skoll, because unfortunately Ray Stevenson passed away, which is really sad. He was really good in the show.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
Yeah, he did a great job. But, in terms of, like, their character and their arc, they don't really have much to do. They're there, they fight, and I feel like, maybe they'll use them later, so that's cool. Shin Hati, maybe they'll use her later.
They will.
Yeah, but in this show, I feel like they just kind of show up to fight, and then they kind of just, like, the writers are like, all right, we're done with them. We're just going to have them go away. Yeah. And they also have this one Inquisitor who has a mask, and everybody thought he was Ezra.
Yeah, I thought it was Ezra.
I kind of did too. I thought it'd be stupid, but I thought it was Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, "Who is this guy? What is he?" And then in episode 4, it's revealed he's nobody. He's a
Dead Inquisitor that brought the light.
Yeah. He's an apparition basically. He's not real. Very weird. No, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Weird. And then, episode 4 is when they get to the forest and they fight. And whatever, it's a fighting episode. It's fine. It's okay. The action in the show is not that good.
No, not really.
It's not terrible, but it's just very like stiff.
Yeah.
Not a lot done with the camera. I think Dave Filoni is a decent writer, but he sucks as a director. No disrespect to my man Filoni. I do have a lot of respect for him, but he needs to stop directing. He's terrible. He sucks. It's so stiff. Like there's not a single shot in this show where I thought, oh, that was a cool shot. That looked neat, I mean, there were a few, but they were in the episodes not directed by Filoni. You know what I mean? And like every episode of like Better Call Saul or something, there's at least one shot where I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. But whatever. Even Mandalorian and Andor both look way better in terms of cinematography. I don't know. A lot of times, in terms of the production, the show kind of felt like a fan film, and I wasn't, I just didn't like that. But episode 4 ends with Anakin showing up, which we knew Anakin was going to be in the show, so it wasn't like a huge surprise or anything.
Yeah.
But that leads into episode 5, which is about Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds. First off, let me just say I hate the World Between Worlds. I think it sucks. I mean, okay, I like the idea. It looks cool. I like the idea behind it. That's cool. But I just didn't like how they used it in Rebels where Ezra, like, saves Ahsoka. Like, he uses time travel to save her.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I thought that was kind of dumb. It felt like they pulled it out of their ass to be like, oh, we have to get Ahsoka out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that. But the World Between Worlds looks cool. It's a cool concept. And I liked how they used it here where it was...
Yeah, it was neat.
Yeah, it was like visions, but it wasn't real. That was cool. It was like that WandaVision episode where Agatha took Wanda like to her whole life, and she's like, "This is why you're so messed up." But yeah, no, yeah, it was good. It was a good episode. We saw some Clone Wars flashbacks.
Yeah, it was neat.
Anakin and Ahsoka fought. I mean, it was to me, I liked it, but it didn't really tell me anything new. It had Clone Wars flashbacks, and that was cool, but like all this stuff, it didn't give me any new information. You know, it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm aware of the Clone Wars. It happened, you know, that's cool, but it was whatever. I don't know. I felt like Anakin really didn't add much to this show. It was cool to see him. Hayden Christensen did a good job. I always felt like Hayden Christensen got a bad rap. It's like, yeah, I mean, his performance wasn't perfect, but I mean, you try making some of those lines sound good,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, I felt like he really didn't add much to this show. He shows up, which is cool, but he doesn't. I never learned anything new about him, or you know, even like in episode 6. Where you see his videos that he left for Ahsoka, it's like, yeah, I knew this from Rebels. She watched the few there. So, you know, he just kind of shows up just to show up. I don't know. Episode 5, everybody was like, oh man, this is awesome, and I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I
thought it was cool because it really showed. Because in the cartoon, you watch it, right? And Ahsoka's young, but when you see her like actually young, like in live action, it hits different.
Yeah. Especially like you see the young actress. Her name is Ariana Greenblatt. She was great. She was in the Barbie movie, and she plays young Ahsoka. She did awesome. I actually think she did better than Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. I mean, I guess because she's playing an Ahsoka we're more familiar with, so maybe that's why. But she did awesome, and yeah, I really like when they show Siege of Mandalore. You're like, wow, Ahsoka was like 17 when she fought Maul, which is cool. You know, I did like the episode. It was neat. I didn't hate it. I think I'm being a little hard on it, but you know, it was neat. Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson both did a good job in the episode. And there was that cool scene at the end with Ahsoka the White and the space whales. The space whales were another thing I didn't. There's a lot of animal stuff in Rebels with the space whales and the wolves. Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, okay. But the space whales were cool in this show. They were fine, whatever. Episode 6 is the return of Thrawn and Ezra. So, episode 6, Ahsoka's barely in it. Episode 6 is the first time in Star Wars canon that they used the phrase long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
That was cool.
Yeah. So then we see Thrawn, who is played by Lars Mikkelsen, who reprises his role from Rebels, which is cool. He did a good job.
Yeah, he's good.
And then Ezra comes back, and Ezra looks like Jesus. And yeah, I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was cool seeing their little reunion. I don't know. I never liked Ezra. I always hated Ezra. I thought he was annoying as hell, and I kind of just wanted him to die the whole time. The only time I liked Ezra was when he was evil Ezra in that one episode of Rebels. For one episode, he's evil and he's cool. When he made that ATST walk off, that was awesome. And then after that, he's like, oh, I guess that was bad. That one little, tangent I had. I'm going to go back to being regular Ezra, which is the worst Ezra.
I thought he was alright in the show, though.
Yeah, I liked him in the show. I thought the actor did a good job. He was actually likable. This is the first time ever that I liked Ezra. So that was cool. Ezra was cool. He was actually probably the best character in the show. He was the only character with any life to him.
I like Balin.
Oh, Balin was cool. Yeah. I like Balin and Shin Hati. I like them both.
Yeah. And Thrawn.
Oh, Thrawn, yeah. Thrawn was cool. Thrawn was awesome in Rebels. I mean, he never really does anything except monologue, but he was cool, man. And Ezra, he was good in the show. What was I saying? Episode 6. So, Sabine and Ezra reunite, and Thrawn shows up. It was pretty cool how he has all those stormtroopers with him.
Yeah, it was neat.
Yeah. They were pretty solid episode. Decent. And then, before we get to episode 7, let's talk about some other stuff. So, Hera is also in this show, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And, pretty much the only thing people talk about in terms of her character on Twitter is her ass, because every episode has like 5 shots of her ass. But I mean,
I didn't notice.
I mean, every time. I mean, it was a little distracting, but I mean, she's wearing tight pants. Of course, her ass is gonna be there. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't think they were trying to. I don't think it was specifically trying to be an ass shot, but it was a little like, all right, this shot's lingering a little long. It was a little uncomfortable at times, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. She doesn't really do anything in the show.
No, not yet. Maybe in the movie she will.
Yeah, but in this,
she'll probably show up with the fleet or something at some point.
Probably, but she doesn't really do anything here. She's just kind of there to be there. And her son's here, which
They're gonna use him later, I think too. I think
Probably.
this is all set up for something else.
yeah. Chopper's in this show. I hate Chopper. I think he sucks. He's like, I hate him. He's like if R2D2 was a psychopath, which sounds cool, but Chopper's just annoying. I don't like Chopper, and he sounds like an idiot.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't shown Zeb at all.
No, Zeb was in Mando season 3.
Yeah,
I guess they just did that to show like what he's doing.
he's still around. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
But he's not in the show at all.
I feel like he's gonna show up at some point.
He'll show up in the movie. But yeah, episode 7 was basically a Rebels episode. It was just a bunch of action, but it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah,
Not super memorable, but Mon Mothma's in this show. That's cool. She looks exactly the same as she does in Andor, even though this is like 10 years.
Oh,
after Andor.
C-3PO showed up.
Oh yeah. C-3PO, that was cool. I'm glad they did that instead of having like a weird CG Leia.
Yeah.
He literally just shows up and he's like, "I'm here on behalf of Leia," and it was like, "Oh," because they can't get the actual Leia.
Right.
So yeah, that was cool. I like that. And then so we just finished episode 8, the finale. What do you think of that finale, Pop?
I mean, it wasn't bad, but it feels like there should be one more episode.
Yeah, it was pretty underwhelming. Like it had some action, cool. I did like how the Night Sisters brought the stormtroopers back to life. Like it was like zombies. Like that was pretty cool. That was different. That actually makes stormtroopers scary.
Yeah.
And the action was neat, but the actual like ending, like where it leaves off, you're like, oh, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that Ezra got back, but other than that, it's kind of like, all right. So I guess they're gonna do World Between Worlds again.
I guess that's the only way they can really get back home at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka and Sabine are hanging out on that turtle planet, and so is Balin and Shin.
Yeah, they're all separate though.
Yeah, they're all hanging out, but whatever. And then Thrawn's like, "I'll be back in the next movie," and then he takes off. And then Hera and Ezra are back together, which is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I mean, I don't know. The episode's kind of underwhelming. By the end of it, I was like, "Oh."
Plus now, what's it called? Did Ezra meet Kanan's son before he got?
No.
So that'd be interesting.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
No, he didn't meet Kim's son. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. It was kind of a whatever finale. It was like, all right.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Just a little underwhelming. I was hoping for a little bit more, but it was all right.
Yeah, I wasn't hoping for like Luke to show up or anything. Like that would have been crazy. But I was kind of hoping for like something that'll get me really excited for the Filoni movie.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any real hooks where you're like, oh, I can't wait to see that.
Set up.
It's just like, oh, Thrawn's gonna be the villain, which we knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ahsoka show. This show's okay. You can hear my brother.
It's all right.
This show's okay. I like the Kenobi show better.
I do too. I think Kenobi started off even slower than Ahsoka did, but then it got better.
Yeah, I liked the Kenobi show. I know some people didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. I like this better than Mando season 3.
Oh yeah.
I like this better than Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like this show. I think it would have been better if it was animated in Clone Wars style, not Rebel style.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this show was really stiff in a lot of ways. Like the acting was very, not wooden, but like stoic. This whole show felt very like, I don't know. I feel like Star Wars should be more fun than this show is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This show kind of feels.
Ezra maybe when they brought him in, but it's already like almost the end of the story.
Yeah. Like this show felt very almost soulless.
That's what it was missing. It was missing fun.
Comedy.
Yeah, like fun.
Empire Strikes Back is the darkest Star Wars movie, but it's also like the funniest. Like it has so much like there's so much energy in that movie, and with this show I felt like everybody's very like stiff and serious and stoic, with the exception of like Ezra and sometimes Sabine. I mean Sabine's okay in the show. Mm-hmm. She's nothing great. I don't know. I just think this show's kind of alright. I would never watch the whole thing again. There's parts I would watch again.
Probably watch 5 again.
Yeah, 6 was alright. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'd watch the whole thing again. But yeah, this show kind of felt like it was just kind of set up.
Yeah, it's
this entire show. It was just set up, really. And, I
was unfortunate because, like, the other shows felt like actual shows.
Felt like it was telling a story.
Right. Well, this one is more like, okay, well, we'll have a movie now.
Yeah, Kenobi, whether you liked it or not, it told the story of Kenobi. Mm-hmm. It was about him and his character and his journey.
I liked it. I liked Kenobi.
I like Kenobi too.
I liked Leia in it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. This show, it's called Ahsoka, but it's not really about Ahsoka. I didn't learn anything new about Ahsoka. I feel like she didn't change much as a character.
She got more serious.
Yeah, she didn't learn anything. Like, I don't know. I felt like they didn't really when I first heard the show, like Ahsoka coming out, I was really excited. I was like, oh, cool. I can't wait to see what they do with that because Ahsoka is like one of the best characters in all of Star Wars.
Yeah, she's good.
But in this show, like I feel like in her own show, she's just kind of there. Like I don't know. I feel like they didn't really do much with her character, and I would like to see them do more with that. Like like with Mandalorian, you have Din learning to become a father. With Andor, you have him learning to be a hero and fight back against the Empire. What arc does Ahsoka really go on this show?
Well, she becomes the white. Ahsoka the white.
I guess.
Goes from Ahsoka the gray. So there's that.
I guess. Yeah, but I guess that was cool. But I would have liked more of that. I felt like the show was about a lot of things, and I don't know. So I give this show a 5 or 6.
I'll give it a 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards a 6 because I did enjoy it. I was never like, this sucks.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, some episodes were really good. This last episode kind of
it had its moments.
Yeah, it was alright though.
I enjoyed the show. I'm glad I watched it, but I don't know. It's definitely not my favorite Star Wars thing. And in terms of the live action shows, even though season 3 was pretty underwhelming, I still think Mandalorian is the best one. And I don't think it's the worst one. I think
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's the worst. Yeah,
I would think Boba Fett, and then probably Mando season 3.
Yeah. Do you like it's better or worse than Andor?
Not about the same. I like Andor better.
I was gonna say I think I'd like Andor a little better. Like Andor.
Yeah, I like Andor better.
Yeah.
But
Andor
wasn't bad. It was alright.
It's this isn't a bad show by any means, but I don't know. So yeah, that's Ahsoka. Not much to say. Kind of underwhelming. This is how I felt watching every episode. Like I was just kind of like, all right, this is a letdown. But I mean, I don't know. It could have been worse. So yeah, more Star Wars stuff is coming soon. I hope when the movie comes out, I hope that's good. I really hope that's good because if that movie sucks, that would be the biggest. I think Star Wars will be dead if that movie sucks.
It'll be good. I think it'll be good.
I think it'll be good
as long as
too.
Paul stops, it'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe we'll look back on this show and be like, oh, it was underwhelming because they were saving everything.
Yeah, they saved everything. I think they saved too much, but it should make the movie really good when it comes out.
Yeah, it's like when you have a meal and you're like, well, the appetizer kind of sucked, but maybe the meal's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I think so.
So yeah, that's it. The next Star Wars show is Skeleton Crew, which I mean that'll be cool. All new characters.
I'm excited about the Acolyte. So.
Oh yeah, that'll be cool. I don't think that
cool.
connects with the Filoni stuff because it's like
no, I think it's separate.
But I'm still excited for that. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back. Loki season 2 comes out. That's gonna be awesome.
That'll be good.
See you guys.